Hi, my name is Abby Lynch, and I'm here for another week of Teen Book Talks. This week, all of our books take place in different countries around the world. I chose this topic because one of the options for a reading challenge for teen summer reading is to read a book that's set somewhere where you'd like to visit. So I thought, what better than some international books than to inspire you to read about an interesting place. So the first book today is Darius the Great is Not Okay by Adib Khorram. Darius doesn't think he'll ever be enough in America or in Iran. Darius Kellner speaks better Klingon than Farsi, and he knows more about Hobbit social cues than Persian ones. He's about to take his first ever trip to Iran, and it's pretty overwhelming, especially when he's also dealing with clinical depression, a disapproving dad, and a chronically anemic social life. In Iran, he gets to know his ailing but still formidable grandfather, his loving grandmother, and the rest of his mom's family for the first time. And he meets Sohrab, the boy next door who changes everything. So that's Darius the Great is Not Okay. And if you like it, there's a second book coming out either later this year or next year, maybe. So that's exciting. It's always nice when there'll be a follow-up. The next book is Love and Luck by Jenna Welch. Addie is visiting Ireland for her aunt's over-the-top destination wedding and hoping she can stop thinking about the one horrible thing she did that left her miserable and heartbroken and threatens her future. But her brother Ian isn't about to let her forget, and his constant needling leads to arguments and even a fist fight between the two once inseparable siblings. Addie can't wait to visit her friend in Italy and leave her brother and her problems behind. So when Addie discovers an unusual guidebook, Ireland for the Heartbroken, hidden in the dusty shelves of the hotel library, she's able to finally escape her anxious mind and Ian's criticism. And then their travel plans change. Suddenly, Addie finds herself on a whirlwind tour, trapped in the world's smallest vehicle with Ian and his admittedly cute Irish-accented friend Rowan. As they journey through the country, Addie hopes her guidebook will heal not only her broken heart, but also her shattered relationship with her brother. That is, if they don't get completely lost along the way. And that's Love and Luck by Jenna Welch. If you like this one, there's another book by Jenna Welch called Love and Gelato, which is set in Italy. And I think she has another one coming up called Love and Olives, which I didn't check the country, but maybe Greece, based on the title. I'll have to do some research on that one. All right, the next book is called The Weight of Our Sky by Hanna, Alkaf. A music-loving teen with OCD does everything she can to find her way back to her mother during the historic race riots in 1969 Malaysia. Maladi Ahmad looks like your typical movie-going Beatles-obsessed 16-year-old. Unlike most 16-year-olds, though, Mel also believes that she harbors a djinn inside of her, one who threatens her with horrific images of her mother's death unless she adheres to an elaborate ritual of counting and tapping to keep him satisfied. But there are things that Maladi can't protect her mother from. On the evening of May 13th, 1969, racial tensions in her home city boil over. The Chinese and Malays are at war, and Mel and her mother become separated by a city in flames. With a 24-hour curfew in place and all lines of communication down, it will take the help of a Chinese boy named Vincent and all the courage and grit in Maladi's arsenal to overcome the violence on the streets, her own prejudices, and her djinn's surging power to make it back to the one person she can't risk losing. And this is also by an international author. The next book is for fantasy fans. It's called Akata Witch by Nnedi Okorafor. Akata Witch transports the reader to a magical place where nothing is quite as it seems. Born in New York but living in Aba, Nigeria, 12-year-old Sunny is understandably a little lost. She's albino and thus incredibly sensitive to the sun. All Sunny wants to do is be able to play football and get through another day of school without being bullied. But once she befriends Orlu and Chi-Chi, Sunny is plunged into the world of the leopard people, where your worst defect becomes your greatest asset. Together, Sunny, Orlu, Chi-Chi, and Sasha form the youngest ever Oha Coven. Their mission is to track down Black Hat Otokoto, the man responsible for kidnapping and maiming children. Will Sunny be able to overcome the killer with powers stronger than her own, or will the future she saw in the flames become reality? And this is the first in a series. There's 2 books, Akata Witch and Akata Warrior, and both books are available on Hoopla as well as in audio format. The last book today is a graphic novel. It's called Boxers by Luen Yang, and it's part of a duology of 2 books, Boxers and Saints. So we have both of those graphic novels here at the library. It's set in China in 1898. Bands of foreign missionaries and soldiers roam the countryside, bullying and robbing Chinese peasants. Little Bao has had enough. Harnessing the powers of ancient Chinese gods, he recruits an army of boxers, commoners trained in kung fu, who fight to free China from foreign devils. Against all odds, this grassroots rebellion is violently successful. But nothing is simple. Little Bao is fighting for the glory of China, but at what cost? So all of these books today are available to pick up curbside at the Brookfield Library. You can place a hold online, and you'll be notified when a copy is in for you, or you can call the library at 203-775-6241. And again, if you prefer ebook format, you can find Akata Witch on Hoopla, and I think maybe on RB Digital as well. So I hope you enjoy using some books to travel around the world, and we'll see you next week.